Are you tired of spending hours and hours building Amazon PPC campaigns only for them to not get any impressions? If so, today we're going to be talking about what you need to do if that ever happens to you. It happens to a lot of people. I've seen it all the time. I'm the director of advertising strategy at SUNKEN, so I spend a lot of hours every single day, pretty much for the last 5 years, doing nothing but looking at Amazon PPC campaigns. I see this all the time of people wanting help with their ads, and they're just making these common mistakes. So today we're going to discuss them. I'll show you what to do if you're running into these problems. And if you like this video, please go ahead and give us a like and a subscribe. Really helps us out, and you'll in exchange be getting really awesome content. So let's get into it. Right, so to get started, we're talking about how to diagnose when your ad campaigns are not getting impressions. So here, let's take a look at this manual campaign. Poor naming convention, it's kind of an old campaign, but we're taking a look at this manual campaign to see what's going on. It, for some reason, has stopped getting impressions, and we're going to try to find out why. So this is a super old campaign. I'm using it for video purposes. We don't want to show any of our clients' actual data, so this is a very old account, so the data is not current, but let's say for the sake of argument, or just for demonstration, that this is current data, and then just all of a sudden, your sales just tapered off. You're trying to understand why. You're literally getting no impressions. The last time you had impressions was June of, let's say, 2020. So you're confused. You're trying to figure out what's going on. The first thing you want to take a look at is the product I'm advertising even eligible to be advertised? So we were looking at this manual campaign before. If we dive in, this product we have here, our main product, is listed as ineligible now, so not able to be advertised. Sometimes Amazon gives you details and lets you know why that is. Other times, they just say, nope, can't do it. And you just kind of have to deal with it, and it's too bad. You can contact Amazon support. Sometimes they'll tell you. But this could be, you have inventory issues, there's some pricing problem and you don't have buy box. For one of many reasons you don't have buy box and you can't advertise. A lot of things can go wrong. If you spent any amount of time on Amazon at all, you will understand that things can and will go wrong. So you need to be very careful to make sure that your products are actually eligible when you start your advertisements. On that similar note, here we have this automatic campaign that stopped running as well. So we're going to take a look as to why. And we find that both our products have been paused. So this happens sometimes, like you have a product that goes out of stock, and in the past you had another variation that was soaking up some of that traffic, but you paused it because the ACoS was looking poor, or you were trying to save inventory, or for whatever reason. If you have one paused and you forgot about it, and then the other one goes ineligible, or something happens to it, your ads aren't going to run at all. Like, they're not going to turn anything on or prioritize it for you. You have to go in and check and make sure that you're actually having enabled ads that can run for this campaign. It's not infrequent that you do an accidental pause and then forget that you don't have that backup turned on. There are several instances where there's one variation that outperforms and you want all the traffic to go to that. You don't want to create too many ad groups and complicate it. So it's, you just have to keep an eye on it. If you see things flatline, make sure to check this. Another thing to consider is your usage of these negative keywords. So if you're, if you're doing it in a sophisticated way at all, or just paying attention to what's going on and you want to eliminate keywords from being bid on, negative keywords are the way to do it, really. What can happen though is accidentally, like here we have package tape. We're talking about mailers, so it falls into the same niche as shipping supplies, but it's not tape. So if we were bidding on that over and over because we did some big keyword dump, or it was in an automatic campaign that was picking that up for a poor ACoS, we would want to eliminate that. But let's say on accident, we only type the word package and we set that to negative phrase. Now, package envelopes would be eliminated. Like, you can easily eliminate a lot of keywords by accidentally including these negative phrase match keywords. Fortunately, this only has negative exacts, so we're in the clear. But if any of these Poly mailers 9x12, 10x13, that's not us. But Tyvek envelope, if that alone we don't want to bid on, but like Tyvek envelope, eco-friendly, that is like a keyword that we like and we want to bid on that. If this was set to negative phrase, we couldn't, because anything with this specific phrase attached to it is going to be ineligible if we do that. Keep in mind also, this is really, really important. So here we are at the ad group level looking at negative targeting. There's both ad group level negative targeting and campaign level negative targeting. So if you were wondering why you weren't getting served ads, you came here to the campaign and looked at negatives and you're like, oh, well, it's not negatives because I don't see any negative keywords. It could still be ad group negatives that are throwing you off. So you really need to be careful to avoid that. Look in both those places. I've seen it before. It can really kill your account performance if you do it wrong. So be very careful with negative phrase match keywords. Very powerful if used right, can totally kill your campaign if you use it wrong. Another thing to keep in mind is that over time, CPCs just go up on Amazon. It's happened for as long as I've been in the industry. CPCs just generally go up over time. And you can get into situations. So here we have bubble mailer envelopes, really good keyword for us. 658 cost, not, amazing, but like we're getting sales and we're below 100%, so not terrible. We were at a 75-cent bid, but then all of a sudden in February, we just fell off the map. So you could look at that and be like, our impressions are down, what's going on? I plotted the CPC here, and so we used to be at 50 cents, which generally your CPCs will fall to about 60% or 2/3 of what your bid amount is. That's it being normal. If your CPC is right where your bid is, then that means you're barely at the point where you can get impressions. You need to bid that up. If your CPC is way over what you're paying, or if your bid is way over what your CPC is, that means you're by far the winner and nobody's even close. It's a second bidder auction, so you will win by 1 cent over the next closest bidder, or at least that's what Amazon says. I'm skeptical, but it seems to behave in a way that's similar to that. But here we had 0.5, so right at 2/3, around what we would expect. Here it goes to 5.7, so getting a little bit costly. Here we're at 6, so that's getting up there, and then all of a sudden it falls flat. So if you use some deductive reasoning, you could say, hey, look, if this is going this way and then all of a sudden it fell off, we just exited the threshold for what is eligible for capturing this keyword. At one point we got it, but then somebody bid us out and then we just completely lost our space. This happens a lot, so you got to be careful. What worked in the past might not always work in the future just due to CPC inflation. The last thing to consider when you're looking at like a really large keyword list is Amazon sometimes will prevent you from bidding on a keyword at all. It looks at the specific browse node you're using, and it'll find out what sort of keywords can somewhat be considered as relevant. But let's say like here we have this MacBook Pro envelope bag. Now we may be able to bid on that, but I'm sure there's a lot of like Kate Spade, something containing the word Kate Spade. They might say that's definitely like a designer handbag. It's not a shipping bag. So there are certain keywords that we may not even, like we wouldn't want to bid on Kate Spade envelope bag. Like usually Amazon is helping you out by doing this, but there have been times where like if you want to cross promote within your own brand that sells a lot of different products, and there can just be certain instances where you literally cannot bid on certain keywords. Amazon will not let you. So there you have it. I hope that video was helpful for all of you who are experiencing impression issues. It's a pretty common problem, so I hope that you were able to get some value out of it. Once again, if you could do us a huge favor and like and subscribe, that would be amazing. We're putting out a lot of really, really good content to help both people who are looking specifically for PPC help and people who are looking for Amazon help, just in general. We're a bunch of experts. We know what we're talking about, and we produce good stuff. So please check us out. You won't regret it. Check the link in the bio for a lot of other good downloadable content. These are PDFs, teach you everything you need to know about Amazon. And if you'd rather just have us take care of everything, please feel free to reach out through the sunkenstone.com website. We know how to handle an Amazon PPC account front to back, so you'll be in good hands. And with that, happy optimizing, everyone.